your doctor when you were getting snipped? Just do it.
No, I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them anything. I just woke up and they said, "Oh, we had to intubate you." I'm like, "That's aggressive." So that's let me just do this. Saying, wait. Okay, hold on. That's good. I've retweeted it. I'll try to find what I need to find later. Okay, so you have Dad's Bet Baseball and football. I need to remember to say that. I'm Adam Rosenberg. With me, as always, is my co-host CJ Buskey, aka Slippin' Jimmy. CJ, are the Mets winning? The Mets down? What are they doing right now?
They're down 6-2 right now.
Are you serious?
This is what I get for you know what? Actually, weirdly, I hate being a fan of like any team in general, because the Alonso 3-run home run on Sunday after they had lost 8 straight was like one of the most gratifying sports moments for me in the last 2 months, which is really sad. So I thought maybe this was actually changing something, but it's not. But hey, snip, snip, hooray. Adam, no more kids for you. Welcome.
Well, apparently I still have like 20 rounds in there. I don't know how that's going to work out, but yeah, apparently.
Well, I know how that comes out, but I'm going to leave that out.
That was noted wording on that. Well, yeah, but I'm here to talk about football to the groin.
Let's do it.
So actually, immediately, I will tell you that immediately last night when I came home from all of it, it was alarming for them to say, "Oh yeah, you coughed while we had where you're under anesthetic, so we had to intubate you." And I was just like, "Oh, that's like pretty serious." And then they said, "Oh yeah, well, you were fine." It was like It was like a 35-minute thing. Anyway, I come home and my son immediately jumps on me and like punches me in the nuts, and I'm just like, dude,
how much baseball did Caitlin let you watch yesterday?
None. I was like catching up on stuff and doing whatever. She let me kind of like chill out and milk it, but she's in her luteal phase, which is basically a nice way of saying she's about to have her period. So she's like being just a short temper for everything anyway. And so she's like, how long is that going to hurt?
On your scheduling. I know it's only Tuesdays that you can, for some reason, do.
Well, also they yelled at me because I told them I was going. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm flying on Thursday to go see Fish." And and they're just like,
"We
just told you
what you're traveling for." Again, is this the 6th time you've seen them this year?
No, the second time. I think. Yeah, second time. But I'll see him again then in New York. I'll make you come to the one in New York.
Yeah. You can last year, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to kick things off. Again, Dad's Bet Baseball and Football. We have Scott Reichel with us later. We're going to talk about New York teams. Kick things off with our pod sponsor, HOF Bets. HOF Bets is awesome. It's an insights platform. We're going to show you how we found a couple plays on it. CJ's going to come up with one on the fly because I know you had a really busy day, but I have a couple in my back pocket because I've been knee deep. It's fine. That's why we back each other up. I've been knee deep in it all week because I've been early prepping for stuff. So anyway, Hall of Fame bets, use code DADS. You'll see this and you'll say, "Oh, you know what? I need this because it makes my life a lot easier." So let me share my screen. Right now I have there. I never want audio on because I never know when I have something moaning. That's so, all right.
Yep.
So here's the play that I like.
Keep going.
So I shout out to Sean Hardy because he and I do a tag team teaser every week. And he said, "I really want Seattle. This line should be Seattle by 10. I said, "Yeah, the fact that they're laying 7.5 to the Saints is kind of like, they're not really, I wouldn't call the Seahawks a good team. Is pretty crazy. That's a huge spread." And I said, "Well, how do I want to play this? Because I don't want to lay that much on it. So let me go dive into this matchup." So I went to this Saints matchup at 7.5. I looked around and I looked at the game lines and I looked at the unders and I looked at that. And then I said, "You know what? If they beat this team, I bet you they beat them pretty handedly and they don't score a lot." So I went to the leaderboard, went to teams, went to offense, game lines. I went to team points, under, and I took it first from a key number, took it from under 17.5.
Yeah.
Found the, okay. So it's already the baseline is 15 is too high. So let's get this even lower. Let's go with an alt. Let's find an alt here. I say, you know what?
1.54. That is quite an alt.
1.54 is it. That's right. let's say that they don't, because I was playing around. Do they score this much? Let's see.
Yeah.
14 and a half. That could be it. 13. Let me see. 15 and a half.
Either way,
I
I
found
almost
it.
think with like if you're gonna play under 2 touchdowns, then I 13 and a half is probably the way to go. No.
Yeah, I think I ended up doing, I can't remember if I did 14 and a half. It whatever it was. It was oops, that was not what I meant to do. Sorry guys. Let me just do this. Team points, Saints. Here, let me try this. I'm gonna do 14. Let me find the 14. All right, this is 14. That's fine. 2 touchdowns plus 126. I don't know why it's kind of not coming up here. That's what was throwing me off. So anyway, this is nice.
Plus 126 for 14 and a half.
This wasn't here before.
Nice.
This was definitely not here before. Good job, Brian and team. The star that says best odds.
That is not.
That wasn't
there.
here.
No, that
was not there yesterday.
Update. They did have a new.
That is
update
a new
in the
update.
app this
Live
week,
new
so,
update.
Yeah, that's great.
So here's what I did.
Great.
I looked at it and I'm like, oh wow, this is no wonder it's their points allowed. What am I doing here? I have to get with the program, guys. No, team points under. Yeah, I did it right. So that's fine. All right. So I don't know why it's saying points allowed. Because it should say points for. Am I on the right thing? Let's see. Team points allowed. Let's try it and go back to points.
We're looking at the Seahawks here?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the Saints. It basically comes down to
total points scored. Right. Yep.
Yeah. So total, I don't want, here's why. Team points under 14.5.
The team points, not the total points for the game total points. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Okay, there it is. All right, Saints team points. Sorry, guys, we eventually got there. So I look and I'm like, all right, sometimes they don't do this, but let me find exactly what I want. I want to know about what the games were with Spencer Rattler. I want to know what the games were when he was away. And I want to look at this for quite some time. So there's this Tampa game, which was week 18. He didn't obviously do a ton of the games. It was a Tampa game, which was week 18. Mm-hmm. I wanted to give myself a little bit of a wiggle room here. He obviously didn't play a ton of road games, but what I looked at was the defensive rank, and that's where I got it. I like to take things. I love using defensive rank for Hall of Fame bets, and I'll put stuff within usually 25 to 50% of a percentile at the bottom toward the top. So I did that with this. This is irrelevant of whether it's home or away, because that kind of can tell you, fine, we're going to throw those splits out the window. We'll give you some sample. But when Spencer Rattler has started, they have scored they have scored over 14.5 points once, and it was against a top defense, and it appears to have been just against San Francisco last week. So I took the under here on this as a favorite play of mine because I feel like it's correlated to Seattle mud stopping them as a low total. I like a little bit of plus money on a game like this. So that is how I got to it. I looked at they have the game logs here so you can just see what was kind of going on. I looked at under total touchdowns. Their first half was like 7.5. It was just some stuff that just wasn't interesting to take. But under 2 touchdowns for the game is under, they don't even get to the field goals and stuff. The first time they did this was at home this past week against Mac Jones in an offense that was moving very differently. So yeah, give me the Saints team total.
Under 14 because I was just talking about this in a stream I was doing just a little bit earlier, and that I actually loved Seattle on the look ahead for next week, part because they had this game against the Saints this week that I think they're going to absolutely stomp them. And Seattle, I think, is, what are they next week? Plus 1.5 at Arizona. And I'm like, this Arizona team, I don't think is very good. And I think the Seattle defense is still probably pretty good. So, yeah, it's funny. I actually already really liked the Seattle and was looking for a way to play that. So team total under. Also, this is a tough spot for them. They got to travel all the way to Seattle. 2 games.
It's a bad spot. I wanted to find a good way to do it. I mean, it's just I think, but the key thing for takeaway here for using Hall of Fame bets is like this defensive rank stuff is just really good. You can also mix it up between, if you wanted to do defensive like rushing rank, which it does the same thing. I mean, you could do that. Away games, passing, like there's a lot of ways to mess around with it. So anyway, it was good. It was just, and then again, look, it ultimately resulted in, hey, this is a really good way to find a find the odds
What's
on it.
cool-
Which
what's
this
cool is
whole
you can
thing
do
is
this-
new. I'm just very stoked about this.
You can do the defensive rank and stuff too from like the previous season, which is nice because like you can see like because obviously you only have 2 games of data, but you can actually use this across the previous season and this season. And defensive rank, like it doesn't matter if the teams obviously change in terms of the ranking. Like you're just
Yeah.
looking in general, like do they play
Yeah.
well against good defenses or bad? So
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's
which is
because
great.
that's why I like using the percentile, just like you said. It's you could say, all right, how are they against good teams?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it
and I
doesn't
did
matter
this.
if the, on the
I
roster
had
change.
this for. I mean, I'll show it for this one to kind of bonus it right now while we're figuring out what you want to do for sides. But I did this for the Packers too because I like the Packers under 24.5 points this week, and that one is, let's see, Green Bay is under that. I did it with let's see, let's reset that. I did it with away games. It's their first road game. I understand that it is not a good defense. It's Cleveland, but I do have a little bit more respect for it. Let's see. Opponent. Oh, here it is. Opponent defensive rank. Or opponent passing rank. Here it is. Yeah, there it is. So opponent's defensive passing rank for Cleveland. Cleveland's consistently been very good at that. And I looked at it, and this Packers team is generally an under team anyway.
You want to guess, by the way, what is the number 1 graded defense by PFF in the first 2 weeks? Do you know the answer to this?
I mean, is it the Packers?
No, it's the Cleveland Browns.
Well, there. Wow, I didn't even know that. So, here, putting this in. Let me find this. Put that in. There we go. Minus 105 for this. I know Andy Sternberg got it at plus money. I love it. So yeah, this was kind of one thing. It's obviously like a smaller sample size, but this was a playoff game. But basically, my hypothesis going in was, have they really been tested? They had an opening week 1 game where they've been able to prep for 6 months against Detroit, and they bombed on them. And then they played the Commanders on Thursday on a short week, and they didn't really blow them away. They could have, but they didn't blow them away. They still beat them pretty handily. And now they're going to Cleveland, of which I think to me it's first road game. So what do I want to see them do? And how do I kind of want to fade this Packers team and a lot of the Packers love? I don't know if we're going to talk about that or not. I don't remember if I put it on the thing, but yeah, that was basically where I came up with wanting to take their team total under. I've been very big in the team totals. So.
I love it. I mean, I have maybe this is the kiss of death for me saying this, but I actually am on the Browns plus 8.5 this week. Just because I think that like it's more to your point, a fade of the Packers team total on the under there. And I mean, I guess you could do if you really like the Packers, you could do like a kind of fun non-correlated SGP on Packers minus 8.5 under 24.5, but that's tough if you're trying to hit both of those legs. But for the sole purpose of I just think the Browns defense is actually very good, and that score was pretty misleading with the Ravens game last week. There was a lot of bad turnovers in that game, which could happen again this week. But if you're trying to play against the variance, then team total under is a great play. I don't have a spread or a total for you, but I do have a prop.
All right, let's do it.
I'm a little nervous to do this though because it is a Philadelphia Eagle, so you're gonna have opinions on it. But let's go. If you could go search for me, Mr. Jalen Hurts.
Okay,
right up there. And we're going to go change this from rushing yards to pass attempts.
Okay.
So scroll right up there. And then we want to do an under. So change the outcome to under and then 26.5. So this is plus 110 on BetMGM. Okay.
So you think they win?
I don't. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if they win or they lose. He has been under this pretty much consistently regardless because of 2 things. One is that the pace of play for the Eagles has remained consistent to what the pace of play was last year under Kellen Moore. 23rd in terms of the amount of plays that they get off per 60 minutes. For the first 2 games, they were 23rd last year, plays per game in the 60 minutes. That game that you were at in Los Angeles where they stomped the Rams last year, only 22 pass attempts in that game, and they won that game 37-20. So it's not as if like they need to. It's not really, to be honest. I don't think it's really even indicative so much of game state, but the fact that you're getting a plus 110 number when if you go down and look at like the last, take out that first month of last season when clearly like it's clear that they were trying to throw the ball more and they made an adjustment, especially when they probably realized like how good Barkley was. Look at that. There's only 3 games since then, including playoffs, that he was over that total. And it was also under that total in the game against the Rams too. So I like this at plus money and the fact that like this is just a team that doesn't really push pace. Like why would he be over this?
Yeah. No, I'd agree. I mean, there's 2 ways. I wasn't sure on your hypothesis for it because look, one, they have a heavy rushing offense, so so it supports that. The other thing that's correlated to it, because also keep in mind they've won like 7 straight games that he's started and finished. It's very correlated. Goff has the same thing. It's correlated to if they win or not. Because if they're losing, and I think they win this game. I don't think I know that the world's like, oh, it's a Rams revenge spot, but I don't see it. But look, let me see because in the losses, he throws more.
Yeah.
And in the wins, overwhelmingly, it's whatever. So I agree, though. I mean, I just think it's going to be a super physical game on both sides. They're both physical defenses. That's why I took the under.
I was going to say, what is the total in that game right now?
40. It was 42.5 is what it was, or 45, wasn't it? Yeah, 45.
Yeah, it's 40. Yeah, see, I like the under in that game too. 44.5, 43.5 is the key number there. I would take under 44.5 too, though. I mean, Rams. The problem is like, are the Rams defense like? Is the Rams defense for real? Because they looked great the last half of last season, but they also played the Texans, who, I mean, I don't know about you, but that offense looks probably bottom 10, and they played the Titans, who are starting a rookie quarterback and probably should have fired their head coach at the end of last season. So I don't know if necessarily like I can totally buy the Rams defense, but I do buy that the Eagles defense is obviously good. So 44.5, I still kind of like the under there too. This was risky. I get nervous anytime I pick a Philly or an Eagle to.
No, I agree with it. I agree with it. I got to prep for the show with Scott later for tomorrow, and maybe I'll bring that one. So, nope, that was it. Look, we gave a lot of bonus action for. So I mean, I don't have. This isn't gonna go on Hall of Fame bets, but I think we can kind of we can use this to go to a side and some ugly things that I like this week. So. Have you had a chance to look at our pick'em? Do you want to go through it?
I'm pulling it up right now. Pulling it up right now. Let's do it. Let's pull it up live.
We can tie this into the overreaction. So there are a lot of teams there are a lot of stinky teams that I like this week. So
hold on. I gotta pull it. Maybe I have to pull this up on my phone. Hold on. It's like get it up on your end, and I'll see if I can get it up on
I got it.
I gotta log in as you. Where are you? I have so many Adam Rosenberg logins. I have a really hard time keeping track of which one is for which. Okay, wait. I think I'm almost in. So let's go to my contest. All right. I got it up. Let's look at the picks here. Should we put? Can we put this on the screen?
Yeah, why not? Do it.
Why not?
But let's not go through everything because we got Scott. We got interesting things to say.
I just wanted to put this up real quick just so people can actually see the lines that we have. All right, what games stuck out to you in this one?
So first and foremost, I love the Titans. I'm just going to say it right now. I love the Titans. I love the Titans. I love the Titans. And the reason I love the Titans is because I have a Colts team that is making their first road start, has not punted yet this season, and is only laying 1.5 to a divisional opponent.
So in the pick 'em, we're getting 3.5. We're getting 3.5.
Even better. I'll take it. I'll let the market do whatever. This is we're gonna get to a lot of kitchen sink things here. I don't love this Titans team a lot, but I really want to sell high on this Colts team, and I will continue to do it until I'm told otherwise. So I love the Titans. I like having that. I think they win outright. I like Titans 1-6 margin. I'm not gonna overfill the airways with stuff.
Not gonna argue against you on that. I think the Colts were absolutely handed a victory last week with the. Have we even figured out what leverage means? Like what does that even? I didn't even know this this rule existed.
I didn't.
It was, if I was a Broncos ticket holder, I would have been absolutely just beside myself. Same with as a Cardinals holder last week, but yeah, I do like Danny Dimes plus 185 for anytime TD though. I gotta say he's
got to save his job.
I don't know why he'd be priced that way. Yeah, well, but
yeah,
the biggest things that and you're getting almost 2-1. Like, why not?
So why don't you pick out? So what I wanted you to bring up the pick 'em for was because there were some that I took that you might be, and I'm hoping that they include any of these five teams.
This is the good old gut reaction.
Yeah. So give me your gut reaction. You pick two of the starting quarterback is in question teams.
Okay, so we're gonna
Minnesota, Jets, Niners, Cincy, Washington, and then look at what I picked and pick two to ask me why, and then we're gonna bring Scott in so that people don't just have to hear us.
I'm trying. Okay, so I'm like looking at your list here, and the only one I know. Can my initial reaction be that I think I kind of like all of these? Because
it can, but tell me, but you've had hours to like sit and do with it. Well, give me one that you're like knee jerk. It's like, I
mean, obviously the knee jerk one I have is Carolina, just because I still feel like I
have a very good answer for.
I'm very low on, and I know you're a big guy on like it's the home opener. They play 60 minutes, not to steal some of your talking points. You're probably about to drop, but like the thing with Carolina to me is like I already came in with a very low prior on Bryce Young, and it has proven that absolutely. And like he is the king of garbage time in terms of trying to kind of pad his stats. And like Atlanta didn't honestly look good against Minnesota. It's just JJ McCarthy was that bad. So that's the only one to me where I was like, Am I ready to back the Panthers for anything right now? But let me kind of hear sort of your origin story.
So the origin story, like the first thing first that comes to me on that is I've watched this team play 60 minutes, and that shouldn't be understated. I think that's not going to show up in score. That's something that's happening.
It sounds like a get up take, by the way. It's like this team plays 60 minutes.
It does. They play 60 minutes. I'm really unimpressed. I'm really unimpressed with the Falcons offense. I just don't. I've never been impressed with Falcons offense, but I'm really not impressed with the Falcons offense. I see what the vision is on the Panthers offense. It's be innovative. It's use Ted McMillan, who I will talk a little bit more about in our next segment. It's really kind of like Chuba Hubbard's become like a lot more dynamic. I think that they've already talked about what they're going to do with Coker when he comes back. They are making up for some of the limits that Bryce Young has, who I do not think is a even top 17 quarterback in the league. But for me, it's just every year Carolina has their home opener as a home game in week 3 or week 4. And it's a kitchen sink kind of game because they don't have any wins going into it. And it's divisional. Every sort of trend, if you like trends, is telling us this is a Carolina spot. But I also am looking at Penix, a guy who I'm already not really high on. Penix hasn't played outside, hasn't had an outdoor started a game outdoors since November of 2023. I'm not saying that there's some sort of
the Washington State game. Was that like the last?
That's one? What it was. It was the Washington State game.
Lost that game too.
They almost lost that game.
Yeah.
He had one. So he had the Commanders game was the one that he did. Obviously, he did like last year in the Sunday football. He was wildly mediocre, wildly mediocre in that game. It was a Sunday night football game. Everyone was making a big deal out of it, but he's been coddled. and he's been able to play a lot of this stuff indoors. It's completely different. I do think that there is some sort of mild excitement within a football game in North Carolina. I just think it's a change of habit, and it's going to be just a change of everything for him. So I like Carolina. I know the line moved against me. I think Carolina's winning outright. So for me, it's one of those stinky plays I'm kind of holding my nose and I'm taking.
Save that one, because when we build the parlay, that might be a fun one to throw in.
So that's the biggest one. And other stuff I've talked about ad nauseum, but let's kind of move on. Let's bring in Scott and start getting into some fun stuff we can talk about. Here's Scott. Scott, first words on Carolina when I told you this earlier this week.
I'll put it this way. I can't stand Bryce Young. So I feel like even though
two of us, Scott.
Well, I actually was going through my Twitter looking at some old posts that I had for Bryce Young.
And I just noticed. I just got a notification about it.
Exactly 3 years to the date. So September 17th, 2022. I tweet out, Bryce Young is going to be a top 10 pick in the upcoming NFL draft. And the franchise that drafts him will be set back about 5 years. He's really not that good. So I will give myself a pat on the back for that read on Bryce Young. I think he's atrocious. So I understand Adam's point about the Falcons, playing on the road, and I get that the offense doesn't look very good. Bryce Young terrifies me, especially having money on him. So I wasn't as confident as he was, but I can't stand Bryce Young. I think he's a terrible football player.
Okay. But you're still riding Carolina with me.
Of course. With you. Yeah. Of course. With you, of course. But I'm just acknowledging that I think Bryce Young is a non-NFL quarterback.
Okay. That's fair. I'll take that. All right. Cool. What do you think about Michael Penix?
I like Penix a lot.
Okay.
I think Penix is a bit different. Maybe it's a certain type of character and a certain type of leadership, but
sure,
that drive he had, and I know they lost the game anyway to Tampa. Those last couple drives where he just dragged his team to a touchdown and even in field goal range was impressive. I understand he didn't do much last week. They didn't need to because McCarthy also is not very good. I like Penix, actually. I think that this Atlanta offense might not be as solid as we thought going into the season. But if you're comparing quarterbacks, I would take Penix over Bryce Young in less than a second. And there'd be no hesitation between the two of them for me. That's kind of where I'm at. But I like Penix. I think he's pretty good.
Do you want to guess, Scott, what is Michael Penix's average depth of target so far this year?
It's not going to be very good because I forgot Drake London's off the team half the time, or on the team half the time.
Does he get benched mid-game every game?
It feels like you don't remember he's there. But
right.
I'm going to say his average depth of target, I'll say 5.5 yards.
Okay, all right. Well, he's a little bit better than that. So 6.9 is his ADOT. Bryce Young is 8.1. I'm not saying ADOT, by the way, is like saying you're good or not. You can obviously throw bombs and still stink. But just think that's look. I like Penix coming into the season too. I was kind of on that train with you. Sean was here last week, and he was his dark horse for MVP as well. But don't love that.
It has not been as good, but I am going to point out, though, how many starts has Penix made in his career? 3?
No, like 6.
No, I think he has
6?
6.
Sorry. So it's like 6? Okay, sorry. Point is, he has not really been through a full season as the starting quarterback. I've seen the Bryce Young experience with multiple coaches. It has not been pretty. I'll give Penix a bit more time, personally. I don't know. I just think if you're comparing the two, it's a low bar, in my opinion. But Penix has not looked as great early this season, but those 2 drives against Tampa, I'm not going to ding him for the really bad defensive possession after the rushing touchdown and Koo breaking the field goal to send the game to overtime.
I was going to say, they should be 2-0.
Yeah, correct. So I'm not going to really roast Penix that much for that.
But we're not going to talk about 2-0 teams. We're going to talk about 0-2 teams. So good segue. This section is not sponsored by anyone, but it's about 0-2 teams. So you have a bunch of 0-2 teams. We're not quite at panic mode yet, but about to get there. Pick an 0-2 team. I don't know why mine didn't show up on here, but pick an 0-2 team and give me a bet that you want to make on that 0-2 team right now. It can be a player future. It can be a team future. It can be whatever. I will start with, who wants to go first?
Oh, you
Scott,
go first.
Are you ready?
I
have my notes ready. You can go first.
All right, CJ, you
loaded. I got
one
loaded here.
CJ, go.
When you texted us about this topic, I responded and I asked you, are we counting the Chiefs with this? Like, are they still counted? And you're like, yes, they still count. So, I think there are potentially like 2 or 3 bets that you could be making on the Chiefs right now at
Give me
0-2. I think the bet probably to make for me is Patrick Mahomes MVP 16-1.
That's a great number.
I mean,
about it.
I think, well, first off, it's not like Mahomes has been horrible like in the first 2 games. Mahomes was actually pretty good, to be honest, in the first game. Still had one of the I think top 10 passing grades for week 1. That was a weird spot against the Chargers. He loses worthy within the first 5 minutes of the game, and comes into last week. You had Jalen Carter return. That was to me, that was kind of like, that looked like an under the whole way. Also, the interception, not his fault. That was Travis Kelce deciding to wear shorts and a tux into the game. That's why he dropped that ball and gave up an interception. So I just think, like, you've got how many guys that you think are probably live for MVP every year in the league? It's Mahomes, it's Allen, it's Lamar, and probably this year, would we all agree, like, right now we could say Jordan Love, but will Jordan Love play a whole season?
Preseason you had Burrow, but you can toss out Burrow now, obviously.
Yeah, toss out, but exactly. So you already lost Burrow. So like 16-1 on Mahomes for MVP when, like, again, this team has played 2 good teams to start, and he's going to be getting some weapons back. Who knows if he could possibly get Hill at some point this season? I mean, he looks like he's obviously dying to leave Miami, and there's a couple other ones I feel like you could make on the Chiefs, but if you just want one, I think 16-1 is like a great price to have in pocket on Mahomes. Why not?
I guess the counterpoint I'll ask you, though, is how good do the Chiefs need to be for Mahomes to actually get this? Does it need to win the division, a wild card spot? Like, how many wins do they need?
Well, they vote technically before that. He just has to 4,000 yards.
Okay.
And the division.
So division, you think, is the requirement here? That's the floor for the team.
Yeah,
I think it needs like 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, and wins the division, which I think is division's absolutely in play. Absolutely.
I didn't realize he turned 30 yesterday.
Mazel tov.
No, but that's like old. I didn't. Yeah, like he's older now.
Yeah, he's been in the league. It's now, we're is this year 8 for him? I think 7, because he was a rookie 17. He just didn't play. So this is 9. Year 9 for Mahomes. Crazy.
So mine was I like that. I mean, also he was 6-1, or not 6. He was a 8-1 before, and it's all those numbers are catered. I see Big Fly talking about them divisions. Their division number is super. They've lost 1 division game, and their
plus
division
275.
Yeah.
You can get probably.
And the 2 teams they lost to also like good teams. I'm not going to fully write off the Chiefs because they lost 1 possession games to the defending champions by 3, and to the Chargers in a pretty weird Friday game that it got close late. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, the Chiefs might be prematurely written off. I'll put it that way.
Was it the 2014 Pats, by the way, that was like the 0-2 team or was it, they were like, I think they started
there's been one the last 0-3 team to make the playoffs was the Deshaun Watson Texans. That I know.
Yes,
because
I remember that.
Deshaun Watson, whatever happened to that guy?
$250 massage man, as Sean calls him.
Baptized in Israel recently. Yeah, he's
really
man. He's changed. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So mine is so back to this Carolina Panthers team. Bryce Young stinks, and you said he's king of garbage time. And as part of that, someone's got to be the recipient of garbage time. And they have been, but it's not just, he's just been great in the game. Ted McMillan for offensive rookie of the year at 7-1. I get it. A little shorter than I usually go, but I just think he's going to be able to have a lot of those numbers. He's right now he had 100 yards last week. It's 68 the week before. He has 168 yards so far. So he is 7th in the league. He's about 50 behind Neighbors. He's the dude. He's got all the makings of being the dude and being a guy. Like he's going to have 1,000 yards as a receiver, which is going to immediately put him up there. I think that GT, I think our expectations have been a little tempered based on what that offense looks like with the Raiders. I think everyone was very quickly wanting to ship that. I don't know if Jackson Dart's going to show up soon enough to really make an impact to do that. And I don't know if this sort of stuff is going to, I I mean, that could maybe be. I see that number there, 35-1. If you're talking about other ones, but yeah, I like Ted McMillan here. I think Ted McMillan, even on a losing team, can rack up those yards one way or another. He's also the biggest body from the wide receivers in the draft, 6'4". He just clearly has stud potential. So 7-1, Ted McMillan,
he
offensive
pops,
rookie of the year.
He pops on the screen too, because I
He
watched
does.
a lot of Carolina red zone, and I was like, damn, like who, like he's quick, big guy, like contested catch rate also like actually like kind of crazy high first couple weeks. Not surprised with Bryce Young, but
he's just good. He wins the gym balls. That's the thing. Like he's gonna have like 90 receptions and 1,100 yards.
I'm trying to think. They drafted a receiver from like Florida State that they thought could kind of be like this type of dude. And now he was like a first round pick for them. He was big. Never
You mean
really
Kelvin
panned
Benjamin?
out. Kelvin Benjamin.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes,
He's huge.
Yes, like but he
was wide receiver Eddie Lacy. They tried to turn him into a tight end on Buffalo.
Chris Bader coming in. Tyreek Hill is better than Ted McMillan. I mean, Xavier Legette. Xavier Legette is also on the team.
Legette's a whole separate story because I think he stinks. I think Legette's actually horrible.
They really want him to be good, but I think Ted McMillan
if you watch him play, he's actually really bad at either creating separation or breaking tackles and kind of creating some, I'd say, big plays. That's kind of the thing, though, is you drafted him. I'm not going to segue too much here, but Legette was supposed to be a big piece of the offense when they drafted him. And the biggest thing about him right now is his accent, which may or may not be fake, because he's done nothing on the field since he joined the league. McMillan, you can watch at Arizona, and you could tell that he was going to be really good. And then he shows up in this offense. He can blame the system for why Legette's not performing. No, McMillan's really, really good at football, and Legette is not. That's kind of my takeaway from watching them play. I think Legette has the lowest yak in the entire league since entering the league.
He doesn't do anything once he catches
he can't break tackles.
He's like he's basically like Mac Hollins.
He's really bad. I'm not going to roast Hollins because he caught that one longest reception for us in the playoffs that one time.
That was a great play.
Either way, McMillan, you could tell as soon as he walked onto the field, he was the makings of a wide receiver
good old
on an NFL team.
Good old 2.3 yards per after catch for Mr.
I don't think Legette's arguably an NFL player based on the lack of yak and really the lack of explosiveness on his tape. I think he's just a miss for a draft pick at this point in his career. Is that harsh or is that fair? Because I think he's kind of abysmal.
No, I think that's fair. I think we all agreed on the same thing: is that Tet pops and 7-1. He's. I mean, the guys ahead of him are Tyler Warren, which I think is a little overinflated. Emeka, which I think is a little bit overinflated. Also, he just got hurt.
You have Godwin coming back too. So
Gene T and Cam Ward, who obviously is going to be there because he's quarterback.
The only guys you have to worry about here are Ward and Dart, because it's quarterback is.
That's got that 1,000 yards
most likely, but if Ward and especially if you have to wait for Dart to come in, then you're really just saying can he beat Cam Ward? And if Tennessee is 2-15 or 3-14, then
and the Giants are 5-12,
right.
Which is a good segue to the next part, since Scott is a Jets fan. Not, I wouldn't say fan, but because he represents the New York area for us, even more so than CJ. You have 2 0-2 teams in New York.
Oh, wait, we're skipping my 0-2 bet?
Oh, yeah, we forgot that. Yeah, never mind. My bad. Yeah. Oh, shit. Sorry, dude. We totally forgot
It's all good.
It's just how we think of New York.
It's how we think.
It's fine. You went for longer shots. You went for longer shots. I'll play it a bit safer. I am out on this Texans team. I'm not saying I was in on this team beforehand, but them to miss the playoffs, I found a -155. And I think that's pretty cheap for this team. I understand that they had a couple of close games against good teams, with the Rams and the choke job they had against the Buccaneers. I can't stand their offensive play calling. And they fired their OC. They brought in Callie. Callie might be one of the worst offensive play callers in the entire league. Like, just watching him actually orchestrate their drives with the, 3 straight shotgun plays on 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line against Tampa on Monday Night Football. I don't think this team is very good. The defense, you could argue, is going to be solid always with their head coach, but you could argue that it's not as good as advertised, even though I do love Will Anderson. The offensive play calling is a problem. Stroud looks like he's regressed. The O-line has not been very good. They got a rushing touchdown from Chubb, which the Buccaneers may or may not have let him score on to get the ball back, whole separate point. But they can't run the ball, they can't block anybody, and Stroud's been a mess. I get the division's not very good, and that could be why they sneak in. You might get one team from that division to actually make the playoffs, which is winning the division. And the Colts, whether they're fake or not right now, look like a better team at this point than Houston. 155, I see Big Fly mentioned in the comments section. Stroud might not actually be good. Could be, but I don't like their offense at all, and I hate their play caller. So if they're going to be forced into playing a bunch of low-scoring games because they can't score, I'm not going to pick them to do anything during the regular season. So how many wins does Houston need to win this division? 9? 10?
10.
I'm not sure they get there. Because if you're going to be scoring less than, let's say, 24 points in most games you play, you only have one way to win. And that's not good enough for me. Give me the Texans to miss the playoffs at minus 155.
I like it.
I think Jacksonville, by the way, is a division bet. If you're looking for that, I think it's like plus 250 is what I saw.
That division pricing has gotten so whacked out. We have CJ should. I know Scott has it because I bully Scott into doing all my futures with me. CJ
with
has
love.
a little more self-control with love. While our Colts' lowest scoring team and fewest wins might be on life support, our Houston under 398 points looks very alive.
Yes.
So, which was a higher number than last year.
That play calling, though, watching them on the goal line,
awful.
I immediately could tell, like, oh, this team's actually got serious problems offensively. Yes, Stroud has not been good either, but whoever's calling the actual plays, he might be, I'd say, above his skis at this point.
Terrible. All right. So now let's move to that New York section that I got so excited about. All right. So which 0-2 New York team do you think is going to get a win first? Is it going to be the Jets or is it going to be the Giants?
So this is solely based on schedule because both teams are not very good. It's going to be the Jets for me based on the schedule. I'm going through this, and they play Tampa on the road. They should lose that game. I think the Giants are going to lose to the Chiefs too. So I guess that cancels out.
I think this is the Chiefs smash spot. To be totally honest,
I think it should be.
I do too. Yeah.
So we're assuming both teams start 0-3. They play at Miami. I don't know who's coaching the Miami team, which is a separate point. I'm not saying that
won't be McDaniels after tomorrow.
Probably not. But the point is, Miami is in serious turmoil, and it feels like a lot of people don't want to be there. You mentioned Tyreek Hill, who might get traded back to Kansas City. We'll see. Nobody's happy. So I know the Jets historically have not been that great in Miami, but the Dolphins are a circus, so that's a possibility of a win there. They play the Cowboys the week after, off a miracle against the Giants. They can't defend anybody. The defense is horrible, and if the Jets are able to potentially pressure Dak, maybe they could find a way to win. It's an outdoor game for Dak as well, which can be problematic based on his historical numbers. So back-to-back games, you have the Dolphins and the Cowboys, then you have the Broncos at home and Carolina at home. So not exactly a gauntlet for the last couple of opponents, even though we are picking both the Jets and the Giants to lose in week 3. For the Giants, you have the Chiefs at home, the Chargers at home, then they play the Saints. So you're basically asking if I think the Jets can win one of the next 2 games before the Giants have to play the Saints on the road. But if they somehow lose against the Saints, Eagles, Broncos, Eagles, 49ers. You don't have many chances if you're the Giants to get a win here based on schedule. You kind of have one game. The Jets I'm giving 2 with Miami and with Dallas. And then you have Carolina coming up a couple weeks after. So it's mainly the strength of schedule for me. I'll go Jets. It's more quantity over quality. If you face off against more bad teams, I'll give you more chances at winning. That's why I'll go Jets. But it's not looking good for either team.
I don't, by the way, hate the Jets plus 6.5 this weekend. By the way, I'm just saying, Tyrod coming in there, like, it's had a decent history of coming.
I like Tyrod for the record. I don't mind Tyrod.
I don't mind him either. Tech. Tyrod also always shows up and breaks his leg. Or remember when they accidentally punctured his lung?
They stabbed him.
Oh, that was
that led to the Justin Herbert era.
That's how he
fast. They're like, we got to get Justin Herbert in here. Break his leg. That's a popular one this weekend. No, I think both these teams stink, but I think that everyone's on the Giants this weekend. Originally I was, and then I saw Worthy's practicing. I don't know why the Giants got a Sunday Night Football game anyway, but I think that the Chiefs curb stomp that team.
I'd rather at least the NFL is kind enough to not do this to us in like week 14. Like they do it like okay.
They're doing
week
it during the
3.
non-conference schedule that they
We
do.
had Zach
Is
Wilson
literally
against Patrick Mahomes.
Carolina has a
Southern
primetime
football.
game.
Is it a Monday night where they have a doubleheader?
Yeah.
Because that's I feel like
Yeah.
where they always get slotted.
Yeah. Pretty much. All right. This is good. All right. Now we're going to do this new fun thing that we do on the football shows. We're going to create a parlay together and everybody gets to submit one quarterback fade prop. And then we'll add them all together. I'm going to use.
Wait, is it a fade or is it just any type of quarterback prop?
It should be a fade.
Okay. It's fade?
It should be a quarterback. Yeah, it should. It should be something someone you think it should be an under. Should be an under or an over. Like it doesn't have to be a fade. It could be.
That's fine.
Have some fun with it. You can do whatever you want. I'm not
because
going
I had a play in mind on a bad quarterback.
No.
It was
Like,
actually pro.
some people might say because like one might argue like, oh, the Jalen Hurts under completions is a fade. It's not really a fade. It's by design. Like they've run the ball a billion times. That's just what it is. So all right, let me see. Scott, you want to go first? I'm going to build on screen.
So for mine, by the way, the bad quarterback that I was actually going to be pro on this week was going to be a Caleb Williams longest completion play, but unfortunately, that kind of you just changed the rules on me.
No. Don't let me change the rules. You changed it. It's fine.
That counts as a fade.
I like it.
Longest completion counts as a fade.
Well, this is a new bit. We haven't done this before, so we're gonna try it.
Well, it was mainly just wanted to fade Dallas's defense because Caleb Williams, I don't think is very good, but this Cowboys defense gave up bomb after bomb to Russell Wilson for 450 passing yards. So I think Caleb can have one big completion. Eberflus as D coordinator, not great without Parsons there on the defensive line. So I actually like the longest completion over for Caleb at 36.5. You need one big play. Adunze, they have DJ Moore. You could argue Williams can't get them the ball, but at least you can see some opportunities for a big play. If you wanted a quarterback fade, you know what? I'll go back to him because we talked about him earlier. Give me Bryce Young interception against the
Falcons.
Falcons
Don't want this
here.
Williams over longest completion?
Well, you said you wanted a fade. I'm breaking the rules.
No, what do you like better, this or do you like your Bryce Young?
I like the Caleb Williams one because I'd rather fade whatever Dallas. Dallas
gave
gave up 450 passing yards to Russell Wilson, and everybody wanted Wilson to be out of the league about a week ago. I got to make a case for Caleb longest completion. One big play. That's all you need.
I like it, dude. Do it. I like it. That's good.
So I'll go for that.
CJ, what are you rocking with?
Danny Dimes interception plus 110.
Oh, you just went right for the jugular.
So I'm a little burned by him last week because we had him in an interception parlay, which Darnold happily contributed his part early in his game. But then I'm waiting against that Denver secondary for a Jones pick, and it never came. But it's coming. The INT, I think, has he thrown even an INT yet so far this season? Has he been clean? Because I want to go. I'm checking this.
He has been. He wanted to throw one real badly.
Yeah, 100%. I'm on Danny Dimes, the fade train, and plus 110 is what I saw for an interception for him this week.
So I wanted. I am gonna take. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see what this number is that I get for this. Is it? I'm trying to find a Jake Browning fade, and I think darn it, I just deleted everything. I want to I'm going to do a Jake Browning fade because I think that this is the exact. While I like Jake Browning overall, he hasn't thrown a meaningful pass in 3 years or 2 years, and while he knows all that personnel, this is like exactly the type of quarterback that Brian Flores licks his chops at and confuses the blitzes and makes life miserable for us. So let me get this.
I'm a fan of 2 picks, by the way, for Browning. He came in off the bench and had 2 picks against Jacksonville. I think that's an option.
I think I might just take his under yardage because I have a feeling his yards is going to be inflated. I just want to look at it.
I'm curious what the 2 interception play is because Flores is going to have him in jail.
2 interception doesn't even come up. No, wait. No, it doesn't come up. Yeah, sorry. It does not.
I see 1 interceptions minus 175. So yeah, they're picking him to just turn the ball over multiple times, basically.
Yeah. So I will let me do this instead. because that
I
one
would
didn't
look
want there.
at like Viking sacks, by the way, too.
That could
Well,
be an option too.
That'll be fun, but I think I just want to do his passing yard is. Oh my goodness. What is his passing yard set at? 225? No.
Are you excited, by the way? You get to watch your boy play starting quarterback in that game.
Yeah, well, his rushing TDs are probably live, right?
For Carson Wentz? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're always live. Let me see. I kind of want to take an alt under on Browning passing yards.
233.5, by the way.
Are you serious?
That's his line. 233.5.
Yeah,
that is very high.
I see Big Fly mentioning 236.5, so shop around.
That's way too high. Yeah, I'm gonna yeah, no,
right.
I'm seeing
I see the 36 here too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking that. Okay, so here's what we have. We have Caleb Williams over 35.5. Here, I'll put it up on this one I'll put up on screen because I've been using the Hall of Fame bets nonsense right here. Okay. So Caleb Williams over 35.5, longest completion. Danny Jones interception that he's been just dying to throw. And let me get all this Jake Browning one off and then clear it on. I'll add that here. There it is. Okay. And we don't have the odds for it yet because they're not all available yet, but this is what we're going to want. They'll be available as it gets closer, but this should be pretty juicy. Because you're looking at a -110. This was even money. And I think we take an alt here. I would love to take the alt of 200, but I don't even know if we can get it yet. Have Jake Browning on a fade, and then we'll parlay all three of it and watch everyone do poorly except for one person can do well. Caleb Williams. So that's pretty much it. That was a fun exercise, wasn't it? Kind of made you feel pretty evil about three young quarterbacks that are just trying to enjoy themselves.
Well, I made a case for Caleb Williams, which I'm sure most people don't want to do. So I went off the actual job description.
Yeah, I think the Bears win that game, by the way.
I think they're live too. I don't think the Cowboys are good. They pulled off a miracle. They can't stop anybody. I mean,
what's a fun fade to play, because you're playing the under passing yards, and you just made me think of this, Berg. Like, look at the quarterbacks that are most likely to get benched in the middle of the game if they're getting completely railroaded. And I want to see what like the alt under passing yards for like Russell Wilson would be this week. Like what would that price be for like under 170? Like
he at home benching him.
They're not benching him off of 450 yards in a game.
Yeah,
but if they're getting buried.
So I think that's an angle. So part of my Browns. Oh, I think we're getting
though. Yeah,
I think we're getting very close to Flacco saying Flacco having a shoulder injury and Dylan Gabriel coming in.
Well, see, they got the game against the Lions the following week, so that's why I think Flacco probably, even as bad as he is going to likely be this week against the Packers, I think they're going to keep him in one more week, and then Gabriel gets to start against the Vikings. And I think it's a London game. It's the next week. That would make sense, but nothing the Browns do makes sense. So,
by the way, Spencer, in our own producer, has said Joe Burrow hasn't even thrown for 233 total passing yards this season. We were hammering that under Jake Browning. That's a great. I think. By the way, Scott, that's going to be one of my plays tomorrow for our show. It's definitely going to be Jake Browning under. No, this is great. I really like how this NFL show of ours is like getting its own personality versus the baseball show, where we kind of build this and we've thrown all the dad concepts out the window, and we get to talk ball and give people some plays. So recapping on everything. We like Green Bay team total under. We like the Saints team total, alt team total under. We like the Titans. Who else do we like? That's kind of stinky. What else do we tell people?
Jalen Hurts. We had the Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts under completions or under attempts, I should say. Mm-hmm. We like a parlay of, and we'll put this out when all the lines are up, but Caleb Williams over longest completion, Daniel Jones interception, Jake Browning under 236 passing yards. We like that parlayed. And and we all want you to use Hall of Fame bets because you just saw us use it for 20 minutes and it was awesome. And I love Corey, who I will be with this weekend, saying Vontae Mack no matter what, which is, by the way, that I do know is a draft day reference. So
I asked you the other day if you've seen that movie.
I haven't seen it. I know that's the reference though.
Yeah.
Most people haven't seen The Wire, but they pretend that they do. That's
honestly, that wouldn't surprise me. I feel like a lot of people do that about The Sopranos.
There's a podcast, never seen it. Never seen it where
I've seen both, but I feel like some people would say, yeah, just to,
And they've never
The
seen The
Wi-
Sopranos.
The Wire is more forgiving to me than The Sopranos personally, and I've seen obviously both.
You gotta watch
but
Oz. Did you watch Oz?
I haven't watched Oz.
Oh, Oz
Is
is
it one of the
Oz
guys
is
from The
great.
Wire in Oz?
Yeah. It's basically like
I don't know
everybody
if I've
from The
ever
Wire.
watched a prison show before. Even Prison Break. I know season 1 I heard is all.
Well, they broke out of the prison, and then the show was like break.
They broke.
Yeah, they broke.
I just
and
heard
they had to
season
go-
1 of Prison Break's like an all-timer, and I still haven't seen.
It's
season 1 of
great.
It's great.
I
And then
will-
they
I will
jumped, and then
testify
they
for
jumped
that,
the shark
yeah.
at the end because they broke out of
It's
the prison.
It's the same thing.
The
with
fact that
Lost.
his
The first
body was a
season of Lost was that
tattoo
way.
of it was great.
Yeah.
But I've never seen Oz. I know what it's about though. So
No, Oz is good. Oz is really good.
okay.
So is The Leftovers. A lot of those shows from that era are very, very.
Leftovers is amazing.
Very, Leftovers is amazing.
Such a forgotten show too. I feel like, but that show is incredible. Only 3 seasons.
Spencer pointing out they were breaking out of a South American prison in season 3, and then it was done. It just doesn't happen. Big Fly. Oz is super dark. It's the first real HBO drama series. It's great. But yeah, there's a Family Guy bit about, I'm going to now sit here and talk to you about The Wire. The Wire is the greatest show ever. You will watch The Wire. But I feel like in its peak, people who watched Breaking Bad pretended that they watched The Wire just so they could say Breaking Bad was better than The Wire. It's fine.
I watched The Wire in college. I think it was my freshman or sophomore year, just waiting for classes to start. I was just watching The Wire basically around the clock.
You
Had a hell of a time.
rewatched Sopranos like last year, didn't you? You made it.
I didn't
through
rewatch it.
the
That was the first time I watched it.
Oh, really?
So-
Okay.
Yeah.
Sopranos is to me, I think, the most rewatchable though. Out of all of those like
Yes.
great shows, I can throw on any Sopranos episode, and I'm instantly like, oh yeah, man. It's because it's got at least the blend of like a little bit of humor in every episode, sneakily.
I
Yeah.
can't believe this Jake Browning.
Shout out to Steve Buscemi, who's randomly in a couple episodes.
Season 5, he's Tony's cousin. He's a main character in season 5. Yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Scott, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, find me on Twitter at Reichel Radio. Find me on a bunch of SGPN shows, of course, doing the MLB show, doing the prop show with you. So we got our NFL prop show coming out tomorrow for week 3. Besides that, doing tennis shows, WNBA. I'm going to record tomorrow as well. But all my podcasts free. All my picks are free. I don't have a dub club, so you can find all my action for free. There you go.
And CJ is at Dad's That Bet. I'm at Hey Rosenberg. Our producer Spencer is at Spencer_Ray. Is he messaging me in the private chat? He says CJ saying let's wrap this up. No dad moves. Yeah, we don't do dad moves anymore with the guests. But all right. So for everybody, again, Hall of Fame Bets, HOFapp.com. Use code DADS. I will be back on Monday because I'm going away this weekend to go see Fish. My balls are hurting. CJ, what's the final word?
Shooting blanks.